Hey everyone, how you doing this morning? It's Marla. Hopefully everybody is doing well. And as you can see, yes, I am in my pajamas. This is going to be another PJ video. I guess I should maybe title these. I was thinking about what I wanted to do this week for a video and show you. And I looked over to the side and I recently put this together. And I thought this would be a great thing to show on my channel. What this is, hold on one second. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Z palettes. If you watched Candy Johnson years ago, I think she was the first person that talked about Z palettes, and I just recently purchased this. This was originally $30, but if you look online, you can find coupons. I think I got 15% off on this. This is an extra large Z palette. I think with the discount, it was like 20 something dollars. So it was really, really nice. All the pans of eyeshadow stay in it beautifully. I wanted to show you some of my favorite eyeshadows. Now, this one is not going to be included. This was sent to me with the Z palette. I'll be honest with you, if there is any color that I hate on my eyes more than anything, it is blue. I stuck it in there anyway. But the rest of these shadows, all of these shadows are Sydney Grace shadows. I just recently started using these and I really love them. Now, these shadows I think run between $5 and $6 that I purchase anyway. There's a couple of shimmers in here. Sydney Grace makes mattes, pressed pigments, shimmers. They also make palettes. They make cream shadows, loose pigment shadows, loose glitter. They make multi-chrome shadows, and they also make face products and lip creams. The two types of shadows that I'm going to be showing you in here are shimmer and matte. And I wanted to show you some of my favorite colors of the Sydney Grace shadows. I'm going to be putting these shadows on my eyes. I think it's easier to see what shadows look like when they're actually applied to the eye. So that's what I'm going to do. These are all my favorite colors. Some of them are very slight variations of the other. These three down here don't count because these are actual duplicates of some of the ones that I already have. So those don't count. Oh, and I believe these are cruelty-free shadows. I believe they also said they do not use any cruelty-free suppliers. I think they said most of their products are vegan. I'm pretty sure that's what I read anyway, but they're definitely cruelty-free for all my cruelty-free fans and lovers out there. This is a shimmer shadow and the name of it is Escape, and it is green. It's a green shade. And I may be layering these and putting more on than I normally use. But this is a beautiful shade. I really like it. I also like it as a topper on top of another green shade or in the corner of my eye. Beautiful. And you could actually just put that all over your eye during the day even though it's a shimmer. And even though I'm 61, I am a big believer in putting shimmer shades on my eyes or satins on my eyes. I always have some type of shimmer, whether it be the eyeshadow itself, or a lot of times I use the Urban Decay, the 24/7 eyeliners that have just a little hint of shimmer in them. And I use that to line my eyes. This is what Escape looks like. The next shadow I'm going to show you is Be My Sunshine, and it's also another shimmer shade, and it's kind of a green gold. Really, really pretty color. I love yellow and green shades on my brown eyes. They're some of my favorite colors. And you're going to see with some of these shades, they're very slight differences between them. You're going to look at this and say, oh my gosh, it looks just like the shade you just showed me. But there's just slight differences. And I'm going to put a little bit more on. That way you can see that this one is more of a gold shade. I would never wear this much on my eyes normally. This is definitely more gold than the previous shade. Some of the shimmer is still along my eye line. It's hard to get off without really washing my face really well. Okay, another one that's similar to the other ones I just showed you is this one. This is called Light My World. So this is Light My World, and then this one is the Escape. The first one I showed you, not much difference. And then this is the one I just showed you, which is Be My Sunshine. And Be My Sunshine is a little bit golder than Light My World. This is a little bit greener. These eyeshadows go on beautifully. That's a gorgeous color. I love this color. Another beautiful shimmer is this one, and this is called Chocolate Bar. So pretty. It almost looks like it has a little bit of a purple fleck to it. It does, because my lids, I think, are still a little damp from washing them off. I'll try to make this application as smooth as possible if I can, but it's not being smooth right now, unfortunately. There you go. That's probably as good as I'm going to get it with having damp lids. It's really a pretty color. And a lot of times I don't use these all over my lids. I use them to line my lids or just in the outer corner. I know Sydney Grace does make eyeshadow palettes, but I hate buying a palette with colors in it I know I'm not going to use, and I never ever use blue on my eyes. I just hate the color blue. It just reminds me of, I don't know, the 80s or something. I don't know. I just hate blue eyeshadow. These are my favorite shades, so I think it's easier to personalize your own palette, and that way all the colors in here are colors you know you're going to love and use. These next three shades are very similar to each other. You're going to see just little nuances of a difference. The first one I'm going to show you is called Toffee. Really pretty, kind of a yellowy orange shade, and really pretty against my brown eyes. These are all mattes right now that I'm going to show you, but this is a really pretty all over the lid neutral shade. I can just put this on my eyes, maybe with just a little bit of deeper brown in the outer V, and I'm done. That is what Toffee looks like. The next shade I'm going to show you is going to look very similar to Toffee, and the shade is called Haystack. So this is Haystack, a little bit more yellow in it, and then this is Toffee. There you go. Very slight difference. Haystack right here looks just a little bit more golden than Toffee. These shadows are only $5 a piece, most of them, so they're really, I think, pretty darn inexpensive. So that's Haystack. Beautiful on brown eyes. I love it. And the next one that's similar to the other two I just showed you is this one, and this one is called Mango Tea. And you can see Mango Tea is even more yellow than the other two. This is kind of an orangey yellow shade. This shade is called Caramel. Really beautiful shade. This is the shade I would put all over my lid in a monochromatic look because I think it's just such a pretty color. The next shade is called Mom Ride. So that's Mom Ride. This next eyeshadow is a little bit more, I would say probably the most orange of the bunch, and it is called Summer Heat. Kind of that terracotta shade almost, really pretty. This is a really pretty shade too. There we go. You're gonna have to excuse this color down here. That's still left over from some of the other shades, but this is the shade up here. Now we're going to get into some of my greener shades. This one is called Rustic Pretty shade. This one a lot of times I use sometimes on my full lid, but also sometimes in the outer V area. This doesn't have any shimmer in it. Flat matte. The next shade is called Vanguard, and I usually like to use this in the outer V area mainly, but I'm going to put it all over my lid for you so you can see what it looks like. The next shade is a little bit greener than the other two were. This is called Bravo. This is a pretty color, and I would put this all over my lid. I just think this is a beautiful shade. 3 more shades to go. This one is really a pretty green shade. It's called Ivy League. Really pretty shade to put all over your lid. A lot of these shades are just slight differences between one shade and the next because I like to use these in combination together, and I just like different variations of the same shade. That's Ivy League. This next shade is a shade that I like to use mainly in the outer V area. It's a much darker green, and it's called General. But for today, I'm going to put it all over my lid. Much deeper green. My last shade is called Midnight. And this shade I would rarely put all over my lid. I normally use this just in the outer crease, but I'm going to show you what this looks like. It's very dark. This is the most terrible application of it, but that's what Midnight looks like, and I hate this all over the lid. I don't like black all over my lid with my brown eyes. Those are my Sydney Grace shades in my Z palette, which I love. Beautiful eyeshadows, and I'm glad I was able to kind of customize my own palette to shades that I personally like. That's it. Take care. Bye-bye from Marla.